Last chapter we getting for a while, and I'm glad Toxic Yuri is here to stay. I saw many saying the gay ship sank because it's revealed the reason Borkson chose yes was because of Morena's ability. But like I said, this is Toxic Yuri. Both sides be super toxic with huge gay undertones. Not even undertones, it's very explicit. And I love it. But as for the chapter, once again, I feel fucking stupid. We already seen how Morena and her group heavily rely on vows and conditions. So it makes sense the card game they play be filled with it to make sure the odds are in Morena's favor. This feels like such a Meryl and Netero moment. I see, you had me in checkmate from the start. As I think Morena's plan from the beginning was making Borkson want to cheat, which is why Morena allowed so many things that were favorable for Borkson, like flipping both cards. Rereading these chapters with this new context is so good, giving even more layers to Morena. Like I said in my previous review, Morena is a walking contradiction, where she seeks destruction and to kill everyone, yet seeks companionship in like-minded people, and her conditions like kissing them further shows her desire for connection. And this chapter makes me think this really is the case. Morena states, "I'm glad to have you join us, but it's a bit disappointing that she cheated." Thus, her ability activated, forcing her to join. To me, it seems like Morena really wanted Borkson to join out of her own free will. The reason she was taken aback in the previous chapter and why she asked if that was a mistake was her genuinely hoping it wasn't a mistake and she joined of her own free will. Also, I have to say, I love that the more we learn of Morena, the more we see that she's a gamer. We saw in a previous chapter she had some consoles in the background and how her ability has levels to them, as we first saw. And then there's the card game, which is also tied to her ability. And then this chapter, she herself calls it a game map. I wonder if we're going to get more Morena backstory relating to her love of games. My guess would be when she was categorized as flesh and was with the other carnival orphans, the only time they felt alive was just them playing games they made up, which would explain Morena's love of games, as it was the only thing that made them feel alive. I'm sad this is the last Morena chapter we're gonna get for a while, as when the hiatus is over, we're definitely switching perspectives. But I'm satisfied for the meantime. We got so much Morena content, and I'm fucking happy. We even got such cool Morena panels in this chapter. She's so fucking cool and scary. And I'm liking the direction this Borkson and Morena plot is going. Giving Borkson free reign, allowing her to leave, giving her the opportunity to level up and become her own game master, even betraying them. But it does seem Morena really values her group, as she said, infighting is okay, but as long as she doesn't consider it crossing the line, which I'm guessing killing between each other isn't allowed. And Borkson seems to have a plan in mind now. The most obvious one is she's gonna kill and become a game master, and infect her friends so they unlock Nan, which will give them the power to protect Serenage. But there is one moment in a previous chapter that makes me think this won't happen. She mentioned that she will never consider murder as an option. Now, we could be wrong. She could be put in a tough spot and she could kill random civilians to level up. And this is the best path Togashi could have taken Borkson's character, as this will challenge her views so much. We will either see Borkson fall down a dark path, or maybe her finding a new way that proves Morena's path of destruction wrong, as Borkson did end up telling her many times, if there was even a bit of a chance to change her mind. There's so much that could happen between these two, and I can't wait to see how their relationship develops, as it's such a toxic one, where both of them don't care for the other, but also in a way they do. As for the rest of the chapter, Benjamin is dying. The fuck? I'm mad Togashi did this to us. We didn't get to see what went down in the funeral in real time. We're gonna have to wait a while to find out what happened and how Benjamin got poisoned. I am a little sad to see Benjamin is going to die, as he was one of my favorite princes. He had this elegant Uvo vibe to him, if that makes sense. Where at first he seems like Uvo, but the more we saw him, he had this elegance to him that I really like, and seeing him genuinely want what's best for Kaken to make it into something better, genuinely is cool. And him being so accepting of his death, but also not just lying down waiting for his death, but instead doing everything with his last strength to eliminate the top princess and leaving the throne to his kid. Also the reveal, It shouldn't be surprising that he has a kid, but still. These reveals, what the fuck? Togashi has many of them. This chapter felt like the best chapter to end it on. While I am sad we're going back to a hiatus, I'm definitely satisfied with this batch of chapters we gotten. They were some of the best chapters we have ever gotten, in my opinion, and I hope Togashi gets a good rest.